Soul family, welcome to the July energy update. My name is Cumber and I'm an intuitive healer and guide. So what I love to do at the beginning of each of these months is just to connect in really with the energies of the earth, with my higher self, with cosmic guides, with all sorts of unseen realms really, and get some idea of what's actually coming up for us all in this month ahead. And so what I ask of you is, if you're watching this, just take what resonates for you. It's really, really, really important that we have leadership in our own lives and that we take nurturing from wherever is best for us to take that nurturing and that information from. But it's also really important to run it by your internal compass of truth and to act on it if it feels really important to you and enough to do so. These energy updates have come from many, many years of being of service to humanity, to people mainly, and the land and all sorts of wonderful places really. And it's come because people have told me they find it more comforting to know that it's not just them that's actually going through this stuff, that it's actually a global thing or a localized thing, and it's more than just them that's actually feeling this and going through this. And so there's a real brotherhood and sisterhood, there's a real unity consciousness that's developing, and knowing that although we are unique beings and there's only one of you here on this planet and no one else can copy that or be that, there's only one of you, it means that there's many of us that can come together to harmonize in a particular way to produce a certain resonance that helps to heal the planet, or our resonance all about the love and the joy and being really, really basic and practical, but also about the love and the joy in heaven on earth. Okay, so for July, Gaia usually gives us a number of things to actually focus on, but I've also asked my cosmic guides, and I've also asked a variety of beings, and what they've all said is if we needed a banner of explanation or title for July, it would be Changeable Landscapes. Okay, so just take that in for a moment. It's Changeable Landscapes. Now, for those of you that know me well or have had been on courses with me or joined me in any of the things that I offer, you'll know that I've been talking about inner landscapes for many years now, and this has been in preparation for the big change from the divine masculine to the divine feminine, so that we can produce a unity consciousness within ourselves and therefore a ripple of that out into the world. And so the inner landscapes are all about developing your own intuition, about trusting what comes within, about running it past your own filter of truth. Okay, now there are more and more and more truths. Or about 3-4 years ago, we started to get through information that truth was coming out, more truth was coming out, and not just on an individual basis and our friends and family, but globally, politicians and situations, about the truth actually starting to surface so that the many can see what's really going on rather than the few. So there's more energy these days to support you in your inner landscape journey, in taking everything that you see, kind of like, oh yeah, it's just out there, keep it out there, have that perspective of seeing it from a distance, and then choosing the things that you want to bring into your heart for your own delight, for your own growth, for your own health, for your own happiness. And allowing some things to stay that you're not sure of to stay outside of your attention and your focus, and to just really bring things into focus that feel like it's your pathway. Because one of the things I do know very strongly is that there are many pathways opening up now to humanity, and there are many light beings and guides, if you like, call them whatever you want to call them, your higher self, whatever name is appropriate for you. And there's lots of them here to help humanity into a higher form. So help humanity do the best, do the right thing, to be the best version of ourselves. So there's a lot of help for that. Now, that means because of that type of frequency and harmonics that are here on the earth, that there'll be a great resistance to some of those truths if your frequencies are of the lower harmonics. This isn't about better or worse than. It's just acknowledging where you are in this moment and what you feel you can achieve, what you feel is too much for you. And all of those things are equally important and they're right. So it's taking a view really with these inner landscape journeys that you're perfect and it's perfect just the way you are right now. This isn't about sort of doing the next thing and producing this and doing that and doing the other to achieve a better you. It's about going inside and asking yourself, what's the real truth of that? How do I honestly really feel about attending and attaching my energy to what I've just read? So rather than us being fed from leaders of the world, their version of a truth, it's like you can still allow that to happen, of course, because everybody has opinions. But it's like, okay, when you get that information, go into the inner landscape and just check with your own heart, with your own mind, with your own soul, with your own practical approach to life. Does this fit with me? Does this particular bit of information, because that's what it is at that moment, fit with me? Am I reacting to this information out of a fear body? Or am I acting from this information from stepping out of the fear, acknowledging that there might have been a bit of fear there, but then saying, okay, so if that was that aspect of me and I step beyond the fear, what else do I think of that? What else do I feel about that? Is it right for me? Or is it just not clear enough yet for me? And do you just need to give it a little bit of time? Just give it a little bit of time. And that brings me on to the next thing that she's talking about, Gaia in particular, and the guidance system all around everybody at the moment, and that's clarity. Now, we had this last month and we had it in February as well, and it's about clarity deepening. So your clarity, things that were very muddy waters once are now going to become clear. So we're going to have pools of clear water so we can actually see our reflection and the reflection of the truth of others within those clear waters. On a practical note, it sort of means that you're going to get more clear about where your energy's at. So some of the time during July, you will feel lethargic, you'll feel absolutely shattered, you'll be reaching for the chocolate, you'll be reaching for the carbs, you'll be reaching for all of that, where you just want to be in that zone, okay? And then the pendulum swings, and on the other side of that coin, you as that person will also have, during this month of July, energy that zooms up, that gives you some fire, gives you some woohoo, let's go do this thing, and helps to actually convert those dreams that you've been dreaming into a living reality. So this month gives us the clarity to be able to choose which dreams that we've been dreaming, sometimes for many, many years, you know, into an actual reality. So don't worry, you know, you're going to be going through some of that, all of that stuff basically, and everything in between during July. So all options are open. But if it's the side where you just have no energy, don't fight it. This is about letting go. There's a big message for the whole of this year, actually, way up until October before it shifts again, to let go of everything that doesn't serve you anymore, whether that's people, whether that's your approach to people, whether that's a mind, your mind thinks in a certain way, or belief structures. You know, it could be moving houses, it could be all sorts of different things, letting go of things that no longer serve you, because There's quite a lot of people I'm meeting at the moment who are struggling in the now because they're trying to do the same old, same old, same old, same old, when a whole new world and a whole new vista and, you know, environment is inviting them to step into something else, into something that's new. Now, humans, like, we're a bit like, most of us are, whatever sign we are, whatever any belief structures are out there, we're all a little bit like, ooh, about change. But change is there all of the time. It's there all of the time. So it's whether or not we meet that change with a full heart and courage, or we hide from it. And we can do both absolutely fine. But choose the path of less resistance. Let's be okay about a pathway opening before you and it being easier. How about that for a concept, that life is going to get easier, you know, and it is if we get very clear on the options ahead. And even though it might be a bit scary, and even though it might be a bit, oh my God, I'm in no man's land here, don't know what I'm doing, it's all new. What if we do it anyway? And we find that that easy road is beautiful, it's opening, it's welcoming. And it's without all of the fuss of having to do the things that we used to do that don't work any longer anyway. There's a big, big conflux of energy coming in to support you in your newness, in your new way of being. It goes with that saying of nothing is wasted. You know, everything that you've done in life up to this point is coming in really handy. And you'll be able to see as you look back, oh, that's why I did that thing. And that's why I did that thing. Because the new doors that you have wished into place, this is because you've wished it. It's not because anybody else is delivering it out of, you know, oh, that might be a good idea. It's because you've wished it into place. And because you've wished it into place, it's arrived. And now it's the big testing time of, well, did you really mean it? Do you really want that? Because if you want it, you just need to step towards it. And that takes courage. But before the courage comes clarity. So just keep checking within yourself. How clear am I on this particular question? How clear am I on this particular invitation to go to this place? Is it in my best interest to do that? Am I coming and answering that out of my fear body or out of my freedom place? Or somewhere in between? So the clarity side of things, so the deepening, the more sensitive you are. So if you're the sort of person who can walk into, you know, a building and have a sense of the place, if you're the sort of person who can, you know, turn up with a group of people, as we are allowed to do so now, and sense what's going on generally, or the mood of the place. If you're the sort of person who can meet with a friend and kind of know exactly what mood they're in even before you actually sit down and start to talk, that means you're intuitive and you're sensitive, and your sixth sensory abilities are there to help you and aid your life. Many people, when they first start to work on their intuitive development, see those as warnings, you know, as a way of protecting. But actually what it is, it's just part of this massive spectrum of abilities that just says, you know, this is right, they need help. It's best you don't go down that alley tonight. It's best you choose this alley, even though that one's darker and it's got louder noises. This one's actually the best one for you to go down tonight. So it's following our intuitive antennae of what's the best for us. What is our best version of ourselves? So that's the voice inside that you actually follow. So clarity for the people who are what I call sensitives in the way I've just explained and more. You're going to get much clearer answers to things that have bugged you for ages. Let's say let's say there's somebody in the family who you do everything to avoid. There's something that rubs you up the wrong way, or you become a lesser version of yourself when you're in their presence. Well, you're going to get clarity about why that is now. If you ask the question, why is that? And often the answer is going to come because you are ready for the full answer about you. Because as we know, we can't change any other human being ever. I mean, everyone can change themselves, us included, for ourselves. But it's not about the other person. It's always about us. And it's like It means that you're ready for the clarity that you need in order to get that knowledge and that beautiful insight. And with that knowledge and beautiful insight, it might be to do with a particular trigger that you have, and unbeknownst to that other person who's just living their life and they mean no harm to you, they're setting you off all the time. It's like, oh gosh, that's that trigger. So you can actually apply some acceptance of loving what is, or radical acceptance that, oh God, that's what that's about. So I don't actually need to defend myself against that anymore, or whatever it is that you decide is most healing route for you. So the clarity is going to lead to great healing, some deep, huge transformational change, but with ease, because it's going to come in little bits here and there, little bit here, a little bit there, an awakening there, a realization there. And it's all about you. It's all about what's actually happening for you. And you're just going to get this clarity. It's a deepening experience and relationship with clarity. So, yeah, so that's going to be, I just think that's absolutely awesome. Absolutely awesome. Gaia's actually saying it's more important now than it's ever been in the history of humankind to earth. Now, I have a previous video up on the science, if you like, and the background about what earthing is, or grounding. And I go through with you on that video how to do one of the regular exercises that has worked for many people for a long, long time. So you can look that one up if you're interested, but get out in your bare feet somewhere on the earth. Synthetic soles are not doing us any good at all. If you're a person that wears natural footwear, then that's better, but the best of all is barefoot walking. There are certain electrons that actually pass, there's certain types of energy that pass between the earth and the human body. And we've got a lot of input, a massive amount of input coming in, more than ever before. And we need to be able to earth that. We're often like a live wire that has no earthing conduit, and we have to get the earthing conduit so that we can be at peace. We can drop our shoulders, we can relax, and we can get de-stressed, and our immune systems can get healthier. And one of the ways of doing that, and it's really important for all sorts of reasons, particularly this month, please, is to go barefoot walking, whether that's on the beach or whether that's on stones or pathways or on the earth, as long as it's the earth. Tarmac doesn't quite do it. Concrete is a neutral kind of swap, but get out some grass or be with some trees. When we go out into nature, and we can actually take this a step further, and we can use it as a place where we can just be. We can bring ourselves down, and our heart rate equalizes when we're amongst trees or out in fields. And, you know, scientists know that blood pressure drops if it's too high, and breathing rates get better, and the sympathetic nervous system improves. All sorts of wonderful, magical, fabulous healing goes on if you go barefoot walking. We're born that way. We're supposed to have never worn shoes, really. But if you can just take 15, 30 minutes a day, every day, to connect in with the earth in that way, where your shoes and socks are off, and you can actually connect with the earth, your health will improve massively. There's loads of science behind this now. Peer studies, all sorts of things are out there now about it. You can check that out and Google that if you wish. But actually, I would invite you into just checking it out for yourself. So measure your own health in regards to, okay, how am I sleeping? What's my dreams like? What's my mind doing? Is it full of negative things in a day, or is it very positive, free and happy? You know, how's my physicality? Have I got aches and pains? Have I got skin disorders? What's actually going on? Because they've proven now that earthing, if you go out barefoot and earth yourself every day, it helps to actually tone and assist your organs, your major organs in your body, and so much more. I could go on with this for a long, long time, but there's a great Gaia interview. If you go onto the Gaia channel and look up earthing, there's about an hour interview with with all sorts of really interesting people and scientific proof of it. If you need that, then that's a place where you can go and look that up. We'll put that information below the video so you can check that out later. Okay, so if you're staying with me, I keep forgetting to ask you this, and Nick's always saying, please ask people to like the video and subscribe if you wish. I really feel that this is going to help invite and spread the word to join our soul family. So if it's right for somebody to actually join our campfire with our harmonics, then we need to get the word out, and I'm hopeless at doing that. So if you could help me with that, then I would really appreciate it. So thanks guys for that. Okay, so we've got that okay, so that one. And then the last but not least is witnessing our own story. So this is coming from the Cosmic Guides now, and the Cosmic Guides are a group of energies who are here to assist us to be that best version of ourselves. And so their advice for you this month is to start almost having an aspect of you where it can come out and look. So it can be the observer. So you're witnessing who you are, how you're reacting to things and what's happening. So imagine that you've got an aspect of yourself that's journaling or writing what's happening in your life for a month. And they're saying there is that aspect of us around all of the time, and it's often to do with the wise one, it's often to do with the wise heart, it's to do with wisdom. And so witnessing is very much tied into wisdom, which is very different from just having knowledge. So, so they're asking us to step into the vibration of wisdom and wise one and to witness what it is we're doing. Not so that we can, in the third dimensional way, give ourselves another good beating up for doing something wrong, or wish I could have got that better, or want to take that back, or whatever that is, but a way of actually knowing how well you're actually doing with everything else that's going on in the world. A way to, wise ones will always remind you of the bigger perspective. Wise ones will, the wisdom in you will know that someday this experience will be of value, even if it doesn't feel so right now. So they're asking you, if you can, to add that into your experience as well. Okay, guys. So I absolutely love channeling all of these different types of energies, and I do have something coming up. We're putting this up in a few days' time. On the 22nd of June, just for 3 hours, I'm going to do a Zoom for everybody that wants to join live. It will be recorded so you can access it whenever it suits you, wherever you are in the world. And it's called Tune In. And this is where I'm going to be tuning into the Cosmic Guides particularly and getting messages for us about what's actually really going on and getting some of the bigger picture. We're also, because it's 3 hours, we're also going to take some of that time as questions and answers. So I'm not taking questions before the event as I have done in the past, because it needs to be in the moment. There's one question that I'm going to answer for everybody because I think it'll lead us into some some crazy and brilliant territory, and I love that sort of stuff. So we're going to go into that, but on the day you might have some personal questions that you want me to channel an answer to. You might have some big cosmic questions that you want the Cosmic Guides to address. So we will be doing questions and answers, a big part of that. So the first part is literally me just sharing with you, being of service to you and sharing with you what they all have to say in a similar way to we've done today, really. And then after that, we'll look at actual specifics, because I do like practical application of this information as well as the ethereal side. So it encompasses a wholeness that I really like to deliver. So that's on the 22nd of July if you fancy joining me on that. carolcumber.com website, you'll find the link below to register for that if you're interested. The energy exchange for that is £33. Okay, so lots of love everybody. Enjoy your month as best you can. Let me know how you experience this and I'll do my best to answer all that you raise. Mwah! Soul to soul. Lots of love everyone. Bye for now.